There are new powers here to censor your site, state-mandated powers.
To censor my site?
To censor your site and Twitter
Truth?
and Facebook.
Truth?
I mean Truth. Is that okay?
Well, I don't think he's going to censor my site because I say only good things. Will you please uncensor my site?
Yeah, we're not censoring anyone. We've got some measures which are there to protect children, in particular from sites like suicide sites. We've had too many cases in the United Kingdom of young children taking their own lives, and when you look through their social media, they've been accessing sites which talk about suicide and encouraging, if you like, children down that road, and that is what we want to stop. It's nothing about censoring free speech.
But that treats all adults like children.
This country is the proud.
But that can treat all adults like children.
Free speech in this country has been for a very long time. We're very, very proud of it. We will protect it forever. But at the same time, I personally feel very strongly that we should protect our young teenagers, and that's what it usually is, from things like suicide sites. I don't see that as a free speech issue. I see that as a child protection issue.
We actually passed a bill in Congress, headed up by my wife, actually, which was to pull bad stuff out having to do with children, because it is a problem. But I cannot imagine to pull bad stuff out having to do with children, because it is a problem. But I cannot imagine him censoring Truth Social. This is more of a very political, and it's been a very big success.
It's not going to happen.
And I only say good things about him and his country, so if they censor me, you're making a mistake.
This is one of the worst things that politicians are doing in 2025, and it's absolutely criminal that the people are unaware. They will have a bill that promotes a lot of things. And some of the things that the bill promotes are genuinely good things that nobody would disagree with. Like, who would want to have things like encouraging teenagers to self-harm on social media? Like, if you go into any conversation, most normies will say, well, that's absolutely unacceptable. Of course they should be removed. And so they add that thing in the bill knowing that it can't be debated against. Like, that is their vote. And the Bailey is adding other things, such as illegal immigration and people smuggling. In other words, if you talk about illegal immigration in any way, shape, or form, like as we actually saw, even a politician in the British Parliament addressing this topic, well, it is going to be considered something harmful for teenagers. And social media has to restrict that. Unless, of course, you dox yourself. Like, if you dox yourself, then you can actually hear about topics such as illegal immigration. But the interesting thing is that in Britain, they want 16-year-olds to vote. And so imagine this, right? Like, you're a 16-year-old, you have the ability to vote, but you can't actually listen to any topic about illegal immigration. Now, you can listen to topic about migration, right? Like someone just says Britain needs more migrants. Britain is in the economic downturn. We need to get more people in. That is fine. But if you talk about illegal immigration, like they're coming on the dinghies, they're coming through the French Canal, that is not fine. And again, like, look how the public discourse is being done. If you're challenging this law, if you're basically saying you're censoring the internet, or more importantly, you're censoring right-wingers, like, no, we're not. Of course we're not doing that, right? Like, we're just against people talking about inciting to violence, or people that are promoting self-harm of the internet. Like, you want that censored, right? Like, obviously you want that censored. Because if you don't, you're a bad person. You want to harm underage people, right? You don't want to do that. And so they want the conversation, and then immediately they go on, and it's like, yeah, we're going to crack down on anyone that talks against illegal migration. Now, why is this censoring right-wingers? Well, because this is how democracy works, right? Like, you have a group of people that wants more migration, or basically they don't like borders. They basically say, like, our nation should have no borders. Everyone from everywhere should be able to come here, right? So basically our welfare system is for the entire world. Like, you pay taxes into the system so that your taxes can then get to be paid to the entire world. Like, a person with cancer coming from Zimbabwe all the way over here, like, he should benefit from your taxpayer money. That's the argument that they're making. And so you have, like, a different group of people that have a different argument, and they're like, well, maybe it shouldn't be like this. Maybe we should actually, focus on the people who are paying into the system to be the primary beneficiaries. and we don't agree with your take. And when that happens, they get suppressed, they get censored. And this is how the conversation is going, right? It's like, think of the children, and if you don't agree with left-leaning politics now, you're against the kids. Now, what's interesting is that they keep doing this shit and it keeps working. And I wonder, like, is there going to be a time when people are going to wake the fuck up? 2 decades ago, it was think of the women. If you disagree with left-leaning politics, you're a misogynist. After that, it was racism. If you disagree with left-leaning politics, you're a racist. After that, it was with trans people. Do you not remember, like, what the activists would say? Like, do you want a dead son or do you want a living daughter? Like it's just constant fear-mongering. Basically, accept our package of politics, every single one, or else bad things happen. And more importantly, you're a bad person. Like, you're an immoral person. There's no disagreement. There's no, like, negotiation. There's nothing. It's just like, either you do what we say, or if you don't, then you need to be silenced because you're an awful person and a detriment to society. And I gotta say, you know, like, this is incredibly politically incorrect, and many people will disagree with me, but unfortunately, the only way out of this is to drop the safetyism culture. Like, the safetyism culture is some bullshit that came after 2016, where the idea is that the government needs to keep us as safe as possible. I disagree with that. I think the internet should be dangerous. Because I grew up with a very dangerous internet, and what I knew is, like, when you go online, you don't give your name, you don't give your address, you don't meet people from the internet, and you're always aware that on the other side of the internet, there could be predators, there could be people that are trying to scam you, there could be hackers, right? Like, that was my mindset. And you know what this does? When you have a childhood like that, you grow up as an adult that has a lot more common sense. When you're listening to a politician, you don't automatically believe everything they say. When you go into a business contract, you don't automatically believe that the other person has your best interests at heart. It makes you for a more pragmatic and cynical adult. It makes you a lot more difficult to control. Because you're already assuming bad people out there. Bad people exist. And it's up to you to learn how to filter the good from the bad. And so, like, if you're having a childhood where everything is safe, everything is nice, like, assuming that they would even manage to do this, right? Like, assuming the internet would be squeaky clean, assuming the outside world would also be squeaky clean, when you actually become an adult and you get into a business contract, or you're trying to listen to a politician promise you something, you have absolutely no framework on how to protect yourself from mean-spirited people, from people that have cynical reasons to lie to you. And so, yeah, I actually disagree. I think going overboard with safetyism is too much. Like, I think there should be, you know, a little bit of context here and a little bit of nuance. Like maybe some danger on the internet is okay. Maybe you shouldn't just eliminate everything that's bad from the world with the idea of protecting teenagers, not even kids, teenagers. Because then they will grow up and have absolutely no framework on how to defend themselves. They will expect that the government keeps defending them. And the reality is that, historically speaking, the government isn't out to always defend citizens. Sometimes the government is out to exploit citizens. That's just my take. I know it's unpopular. I know many people won't agree. But this is why parenting is important. This is why we even ended up in this place. Because, like, notice the word parenting is absolutely missing from this conversation. Despite the fact that we're going into such a massive moral panic about children and about how we need to change the way the internet works, at no point is the word parent even being mentioned. There is no expression on we need to have better parental controls. There are no guides on teaching parents on how to raise their kids. There are no guides on teaching parents how to know what their kids are doing online. None of that is part of the conversation. And so it begs me to believe that this is not about kids. This is just about, like, the government wanting to educate a new generation that is coddled by safetyism, and safetyism doesn't come from their family, it comes from their institutions and corporations. And that is the most dangerous thing that I have ever heard. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in my live stream. Take care.